Hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to officially the start of the Be Your Beautiful show. So I kind of teased about this over the winter break, and I actually can officially say winter break or Christmas break because my husband is a teacher. So I still follow the school schedule in essence. His schedule really rules when you work from home and you have your husband and son home. It makes it sometimes difficult, which is kind of what led me to came up with this idea of talking about working moms on the first episode here. And I say first episode, so we introduced the show with Dr. Heather Denniston, and then I did do another show the following week. Wasn't able to do one last Thursday, but we're officially kicking this off. I'm very lucky, which I'll talk about later on in the show, but my son goes to his Aunt Carolyn's every Thursday evening. And yes, I know I am very, very lucky. But I wanted to be very useful with the time that I do have off. And so this is something that I've wanted to do and I've kind of envisioned doing. So we don't have a full scope of everything that we're going to share and go through in the Be Your Beautiful episodes, but it's definitely going to be a mixture of topic episodes where I'm just coming to you. And then it's going to be a mixture of sharing guests. So if you want to be a guest or you have somebody that you want to nominate to be a guest on the show, please do reach out to me. All right. So working moms, what I mean by this is really just moms. So this is something, and I can't even believe really that there was ever even an argument, but that there is an argument out there as far as looking at the pros and cons of working moms versus stay-at-home moms. So in my opinion, a working mom is every mom that's out there. So if you're a mom and you're raising your kids, whether you're working as far as outside of the home or having a paid job, or you're stay at home taking care of your kids and your family, both that's all work, right? It's all work. So, working moms incorporates to me both aspects of a stay at home, full-time, part-time, corporate executive, business owner, entrepreneur, all of those aspects and everything in between. So really, even when I think about it, I think there's topics out there that we like to debate and we like to weigh the pros and the cons of it. But ultimately, I really don't think there's a pros and cons list to a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, or even the versions of. So really it comes down, in my opinion, and that's where we look at everything. We have these debates sometimes on these core subjects in black and white, when really there's a whole gray area in between. And so it's not a matter of the pros and cons of the stay-at-home mom versus the working mom, but more a matter of what you do with the position and the situation you're in. So the quality time that's provided and how you really, I guess, in essence, react or play the hand that's dealt in some ways, right? So you may not even be in a position that you like, whether it be working or stay at home. Maybe you're stay at home and you want to get a job, or you're working and you don't want to be, or maybe you're working in a position where you want to be different or better, or a different, you're in a second shift position, you rather be in first shift, or vice versa. Anything in that nature, and everything in between can be somewhere where you don't want to be. But even if you don't want to be there, it's still a matter of making the most out of where you're at, and then really understanding that there are options and there are choices, and you can start, making steps towards wherever you want to be. Because ultimately, working or not working really isn't a right or wrong answer. And that's, 100%, that's definitely my opinion. Obviously, this isn't opinionated. Here I am debating something that I hate listening to be debated, but I think it's because, I see both sides, and really the cons come into how you interact with whichever position you're in. So, I really think the stay-at-home mom is the hardest position there is. So I'm very much in a unique position. So I'm working in essence of, I own my own business. I also am a sales representative for a software company. So I do software demos. So those are 45 minutes to an hour long, like on a computer, but in essence, they're in front of me. I'm on the phone. It's, with doctors that are very busy. So I did realize very quickly when I started this that I couldn't have my son home with me. So yes, I work from home, but no, my son isn't home with me. And some moms are in situations where they work from home and their kids are with them. And, I really feel blessed to be in a position I'm in to be able to work from home and send my son to daycare and do it all and be very financially feasible. And even in some instances, taking over, I'd have to look at the last 3 years combined to really actually see where we're at. But taking over as a breadwinner in the household, which is very nice when you start to stack streams of income, which I definitely do kind of want to talk about a little bit as we get into the end of this video. But I was a stay-at-home mom for the first 4 months. And then once my son was 4 months, I did very part-time. I think I started 3 days a week at like 4 hours a day and then 5 hours a day, and then gradually moved that up. And then it was 4 days a week for a long time. So he was about a year old. And then even now, very often, at least every single month, I'll take, some day off to just spend with him. So it's nice. I feel in so many ways, like I do have the best of both worlds. And sometimes I need to say that more. I really do need to say that more, but having the best of both worlds of being able to work, but also being able to create my own schedule. Within that, I need to be very consistent in order to have, my open demo hours. So it's still in some ways, I don't want to say like an 8 to 5 because it's more entrepreneurial business ownership, but it definitely still has some of that rigid structure, but ultimately, I am in full control of that. And that's had its huge benefits as far as being a mom's concerned, like when Sean gets sick. I mean, that's the first one, ultimately, when Sean gets sick, or, if we're snowed in, or if the daycare closes, or, just anything in that nature. I'm able to shift things and move things around or make things happen and get it done, which that's great. And, that's where you go to weighing like pros and cons, right? I mean, there's definitely things in this situation. Like I work from home, so I'm always home. Like with my son, I come back home, like I'm always home, right? So there's that, camaraderie that you don't get in it, but obviously I still get online and in traveling, but then giving that up. So again, it's like, there's always going to be, the situations really, and they're not even pros and cons. They're just like situations that you're dealt with and you have to react to. And it's a matter of, really, I think more how you take advantage of that and how you react to that. And so one of the things I'm committed to, this year is really trying to take more advantage of getting more focused and scheduling my calendar and being so rigid with my calendar that I can extrapolate all the extra time in order to consolidate it and then do more with it. So, I love the saying of, everybody in the world. So you think of these people like, I don't know how they do this. Or I don't know how they have time for this. My director, by the way, her name's Christy. She has 2 kids. And so she's a stay-at-home mom. In essence, she has a full-time job, full-time business, full entrepreneur doing Beautycounter. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure she's making 5 figures a month consistently doing this. Something she's been doing, I want to say, for about 3.5 years. Incredible, just incredible. And she does it with 2 kids at home. No idea how she does it, but ultimately she delegates her time. She owns her time and she owns her schedule. And so I know there's people who look at me, and I think in some ways she may even look at me sometimes and go, I don't know how you have 2 businesses and do Beautycounter and have Sean. Well, I don't have Sean with me all day, Monday through Friday, which is, totally different and totally more helpful. So ultimately we all have the same hours. That's my point in this is, we all have the same number of hours in our day. That's equivalent, no matter what our past experiences are, future experiences are, how much money we have, who we know, what position we're in. The one thing that is equal across the board for all people is we all have the same amount of hours in this single day that we're promised and given, because we're, not promised tomorrow. So I think it's about doing the most you can within that. Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for joining in. So, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I think that was the hardest job. I took that seriously. When I was a stay-at-home mom, and even up until he was a year old, that was my job. It was like he was my employee and I was like serving him, or my client or something, and I was like serving him. But to running his schedule, making his food, making sure everything was planned out, making sure we did, education time, and I was nursing, obviously. So we all know as moms, that's like just a huge part of our life. Oh my gosh, when I was nursing and doing the business, and then when I started traveling, that's when it all came to a head, and that's when I stopped nursing. So that was like at 10 and a half months. So, that was okay. I was okay. So I had to become okay. I always wanted to nurse past a year old, but I wasn't going to make that a detrimental point in my life when I just realized that shift needed to happen sooner than later, because I wasn't producing enough anymore. It was become more of a burden and a hassle. And anyways, we don't have to go there into all the details, but the point, I think, is to own the situation that you're at and be okay with it, so you can really feel your most beautiful and be your ultimate. And even if that's not a situation that you want to be in. So like, I didn't want to stop nursing until he was a year old. I didn't want to, ultimately going into everything, I didn't want to have a C-section, but that's what had to happen. And that was a planned C-section where I had to be completely under and completely out. So, there was the whole coming off all the drugs and then recovering from the surgery and then finally having that connection. So there was a lot of that I missed, but there's no point, in my opinion, in me over analyzing and dwelling in that. There were emotions around it, which were definitely experienced, but I just wanted to make use of, once I did connect with Sean and feel lucid, right? Which was probably, I had him at like 8:30 in the morning. That was probably like at 1 a.m. that night when I finally felt like I was off the drugs and could think clear and could hold him and really look at him and think about the fact that I just had a son. So, but in that, it was just about moving forward at that point. And so there are always decisions that you can make. I love being a stay-at-home mom. If you're a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, it has no bearing upon how much you love your child, because I've done both. So I can ultimately attest to that. But, I went to Purdue, 4 years at Purdue, financial planning. I went into a career in financial services after that. But I have that financial situation. My husband's a teacher. I mentioned that at the beginning. So I needed to work. We needed a second income. If we didn't have a second income, we were going to be incredibly limited. And I really want to provide opportunities for my son. So, it's not weighing pros and cons as much as it is really looking at some of the things that you want. Like, what are some of your, let's say, non-negotiable type things? And for some of you, your non-negotiable may be that you want to be home, like raising your kids. Like, that's totally cool and okay. That's fine. That's absolutely, and I admire that in so many ways, like in so many incredible ways. And we're going to talk a little bit about, if your issue, like if your non-negotiables are that, you do want to stay at home, but unfortunately you're in this situation where financially you can't stay at home. There are options. Like, there are absolutely options. Like my director, Christy, who I'm going to have on the show here as this goes along. She's definitely going to be one of the guests that's going to be on. I haven't actually asked her, but I know she'll say yes. So it was an assumed yes in my head, so she can share a little bit to that. But there are options. And Beautycounter doesn't have to be it. So this isn't all a Beautycounter plug, but I'm definitely going to talk about that a little bit, because that's what I can attest and know. And my mom worked my whole life growing up. So sometimes 2, sometimes 3 jobs. So in some ways it's what I know. So I wanted to work, I needed to work, but I wanted to work. But I wanted to be in control of what I did. And it seemed, I don't even really know. It just seemed like, let's try this. So I wasn't working. So we were starting from zero. So it wasn't like I was giving up an income or I was sacrificing an income. The jobs that were out there were minimal jobs. So what I did was I went back to, actually, before I had my son, I was serving. So I went back to them on like a and this is, I just happened to be something that they were able to work with me and offer me, which was great. But I was like a fill-in person. So I would work like 2 to 3 times a month and bring in a few $100s. So that was very, very helpful. That helped to pay the daycare to ensure that I could start this sales job. And I just took one step at a time. Like I said, daycare started out, there was something that was very, very small. It was just, he went to one lady that we met through our church and just a couple of days a week for a few hours. And so you can gradually, definitely build into that. So I said I'm very lucky, my mom worked 2 to 3 jobs. So like a village raised me. We would be with step parents, back and forth. My parents were divorced. So back and forth between my mom and my dad, either sets of grandparents. We would be with babysitters. I mean, we had so many adults that took care of us. And I don't look at that and like regret that or think that was a bad thing. We get so many influences, and ultimately, I had so many people that took their time to make us a part of their life. And so that was always, that was really cool. I think that was really cool to have, just all those people in my life growing up, family that was so close. And so I think that's why, even though I always said I was going to leave, I always said I was going to leave. I was always going to move to San Francisco. Ironically, my boyfriend after college moved to San Francisco and I didn't want to move. And so we broke up. So I definitely, that was what I thought I wanted, but the action did not follow my thoughts, which is why I don't try to think too far ahead about those like grained in big picture details, but try to think in the moment of, what do I want to change right now? What do I not like about right now, about where I'm at, and what can I do? Because God is always going to, have that path. If you believe and you trust in him, which is what I ultimately changed in my life, So I just started like believing and trusting in him. And then the path just cleared. Like, honestly, it cleared and doors opened and it became more visual, and it's still becoming more visual about which ones to walk into and which ones not to walk into. Right. But so we had this opportunity, and especially now, that's why staying in Logansport, I never would have envisioned myself being back home, especially in Logansport. Nothing negative towards anybody that lives or is from here, Cass County. We bought a home here. We have land here now, so we're officially here. But I like being close to home. I like that family's close. I really love that my son has all these people that love him and are a part of his life, because we don't know what's going to happen in life, right? Like, we have no idea what's going to happen. And not to say that, something's going to happen to me, but to say that I can't provide every single need that's going to come up in my son's life. And even though I want to, and my husband can't either, and not even people can't provide every single need that's going to come up into our life. But, just having that support system and that deep ingrained support system is awesome. So my son goes to his aunt's every single Thursday night. He's been doing that since he was about 10 months old. He's 3.5 now. And yeah, it's amazing. I miss him like crazy. Don't get me wrong. Thursdays sometimes get lonely. Me and my husband definitely always say we do date night. We do not do date night the best possible. And then right now he's in season, so I never know when he's going to have early practice or late practice. So I decided to really take advantage of this time, because I want Sean to go there every Thursday and have that bond and have that relationship and have that experience. That to me supersedes anything that I want or need. And that's not the same for everybody. That's just an open door for us that we looked at and was a great opportunity. So then it's, what do I do with my time? So obviously we're going to go back to date night after season. So we might have to move this Be Your Beautiful show. We'll see how everything works out. But I wanted to be useful and make an impact and take advantage of this extra time to lend to my career and what I'm trying to do there. That way, like I said, I could crunch time together to open up other time slots where I can spend those with Sean, the family, just other types of needs. So, ultimately, it's really about, thinking, really intimately about where you're at if you like it. And it's not even if you like it, like if you seriously, like if you're happy there in any situation, you can be happy, whether it's a part-time night job or it's a full-time business executive career, or it's like my director, Christy, who's a stay-at-home mom, but wants to bring in an extra income and really wants to make an impact and wants to have that extra hobby-like career, which is really, that's what I love about social media and technology in the world we live in today, is like this term side hustle, or this term entrepreneurship has really adapted and grown and created a huge opportunity, especially for mothers. Costs continue to increase. It's very hard to be in a single income household, but there's still a lot of moms who really do want to stay at home, but financially they can't do it. And so that was something where, even though I was creating my own business, I have my own, I'm doing these sales with Vitalogics, but I'm doing it for another company. So anything could happen there, right? I mean, they could just determine to fire or can me. Please, I hope that never happens. I love what I'm doing there. I'm not doing this to ideally replace that, but there's just, you never know what's going to happen. So you have to kind of think and plan and manage. This is something, deep and still we learned in financial planning. It's all about managing your risk and really looking at the percentage, what is your riskiest things out there that are really going to take you from where you want to go. And so income being a big one. And so when you're an entrepreneur, that would be your income going away, right? And so this diversification, which that's what we learn in finances as well, this idea of diversification is the idea of multiple revenue streams. So if one does go away or something does happen for any number of reasons, there's these other two. So that was one thing that I was looking at, and there's just so many opportunities, and I really like a lot of them. And I do use a lot of direct sales / MLM / local / Etsy type / personal design. I try to buy local and I try to buy from friends and, try to commit my time there. And I've always been intrigued by it. I've always thought it'd be fun. I thought I'd be good at it, but I never found one that aligned with me. And so I really started searching out there for one, and I searched for quite a while. And, I was really in, and I still do, like, some, health eating. And I was focused on looking at, autoimmune and paleo type things. But ultimately, that wasn't really, I don't know. That wasn't where my heart was at. And the science behind, like, I really have to understand something to do it. And I love makeup. I love personal care products. It aligned. This door opened where I had this need for it. And, it's all been really great ever since. So it doesn't have to be Beautycounter. It doesn't even have to be an MLM, but there's a ton of opportunities out there. I talk to so many people. I talk to my brother a lot. I think there's a lot of opportunity just specifically, let's say online, this idea of a VA, a virtual assistant. I work in the chiropractic world. We're consistently, have doctors that have needs for VAs or people to come in and do photo shoots or videos or video editing or social media management or scheduling out of posts. And beyond the VA opportunity online, there's just all these opportunities to go to some of these like Fiverr and these sites and to do some of this, online just content creation, and there's like a million things that you can really get into and do. Design work, sales work, you can do data entry work. So you don't even have to be the creative side. Some of it is data entry work. And anything that you don't know how to do, you can learn out there. So whatever position you're in, you can start to make those decisions, but it starts with determining, whatever position you are as a working mom, because we're all working moms if we're moms. And if we're not moms, we're still working in some aspect or another. So is that how you want to do it? And I definitely wanted to highlight, if Beautycounter is something that even slightly interests you, let's talk. Like honestly, I don't want to be sales or gimmicky because I don't want to push you into something because I don't want to wear that on my shoulders. I don't want to push you into something that you don't want to do. I don't want to push you into something that you're going to feel like you're going to fail at. I want you to just engage with this, if this is something that's, interesting to you, because it really is a really lucrative opportunity. It's actually one of the best. And I've seen a lot of the direct sales. It's not MLM. It is direct retail, direct consumer retail. So you don't have to be a member or go through a consultant. You can buy directly online, as well as there's some pop-up shops, as well as Beautycounter was sold in Target. It's been featured in Goop. Lot of celebrities were styled by Christy Coleman, who is our chief artistic officer. So a lot of celebrities at the Golden Globes this year were actually in Beautycounter. So very, very high company, like high standards, and putting a lot into it. And definitely not the traditional or typical or even an MLM, like what you would think of, but similar in nature, absolutely, to the business structure and the financial opportunity. So you can earn up to 35% product commissions, which is very incredibly high. And there's no, you don't have to purchase anything. There's minimums. It's like $1,200 every 6 months that you have to sell in QV. So you'll learn what all that is. We can talk about that. I'll show you everything. I'll give you everything laid all out for you if you're interested. But it's a great opportunity to make some extra income, to band together, to be on a mission, to connect with other women. Like, part of it, because I work from home and I'm doing these software sales, you do demos, you schedule a demo online, you do this demo online, and then if they purchase, they go into support. So like I said, the camaraderie part of it. So part of me in Beautycounter, there was all these different reasons where it was a really good fit for me. So if you think it's a good fit for you, I definitely think we should talk. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this Be Your Beautiful episode. Again, my name's Nicole Cowley. You also may hear me Beautycounter by Purdue Nicole, or Be Your Beautiful by Purdue Nicole. Those are all some of the taglines we're playing with here. I'm still in the full branding beginning phase of all of this, but I do hope this turns into something really big, because I've gotten great results from Beautycounter's products, health wise, and my actual skin, phenomenal results. And then the people that use it, that are using it, that have purchased it from me or that have become consultants underneath me, have also gotten great results and are sharing those great results. So it's luxurious products, and they're healthier products, and they're safer products. So I would definitely consider this. I know a lot of my market has that audience and has that want and has that need of trying to be cleaner and trying to be safer in all aspects of their life. So this is a really great way to do it with your makeup and still look really good and have it still work. We have the best eye cream ever. But anyways, I wanted to close this out really quick. Actually, I almost forgot, and I have my products here. I did want to close this week out because the best deal ever, in my opinion, I shared that earlier, the best deal ever, in my opinion, is going on right now. So we have our 5-minute face, the Flawless in 5, actually, I think is what they call it now, Flawless in 5. So it's 6 products, okay? So this is all the time. You can get this anytime. So Flawless in 5 comes with Tint Skin. And actually, let me do this. I was going to do this. Broadcast. This so you can see it. Okay, so Tint Skin, you get to choose your color. So I'm going to show you the colors here. Message me if you want color matching. Okay, then you also get a concealer pen. I use this all the time. I love it. So I use Sand, and I use medium 1 in the summer, and I use light underneath my eyes. I use light now for a concealer. Step 3 is the brow. So here's the brow pen. I use light, and it has a brush on one end, the brow pencil on the other. Growing out my eyebrows right now. Yeah, I'm totally not even kidding. Yep, growing out my eyebrows. So nice. You let me know what you think of that. Step 4 is mascara. So I actually use the lengthening mascara, right? Yeah, lengthening. Volumizing, I think, actually is our most popular or most selling. But I like the lengthening. I love the lengthening. So either are beautiful, obviously. Then there's the Powder Blush Duo. So the Tawny Whisper, I think, is my favorite. This one that I have here is the Bloom Tulip. So it is a duo. And so you're going to get 2 face powders there, and then you're going to get a lip gloss. So you have 6 choices in our lip gloss. And I don't know if this one is an actual choice or if this one that I have in front of me was from I think the one I have right here. Yeah, it smells like mint. So this color isn't one of the choices, but the choices are beautiful. The nude, the bear, the one on the far right, I can't think of the name of it, is gorgeous. And even the dark one, I use the dark one a lot too. So you really can't go wrong. But what you'll do is you'll go to my website, and here, I'll even show it to you really quick. There is a really fun, like I say that, really, really fun, like wizard that you'll go through where you can choose your colors. So if you go to my website and you go to Nicole's New Year's Social, start shopping. This is only available this week, this deal that I'm going to talk about. So it's $148 for $194 value. So once you click on it, you can scroll down here, and then you can start choosing your colors. Okay, so like I use sand, and it's going to show you. And then you go to step 2, and it's going to recommend colors for you, but then you can change those colors. Okay, so I would use light. For my pencil, I would actually use light because I have really light. Step 4, my mascara, telling me volumizing. I really like lengthening. Step 5, I recommend the Tawny Whisper. I have the Flamingo Apricot as well. Actually, I think I have all 3 of them. And then here's the one. So Opal's already sold out. So remember, colors, they can sell out. Once they're sold out, they're sold out. Buff, Bare Shimmer, Sienna. I've tried all those. I've tried Peony. Fig would be beautiful if you could wear like a dark color, the Ruby. They're not quite as dark because they're a gloss, first of all, as well. They're gloss, so they're buildable. Tiny bit of shimmer in them. So let's just say Bare Shimmer. See, tiny bit of shimmer in that. Buff, not so much, but when you add your Flawless in 5 to your cart, so we'll click this add to bag right here, you are going to get your choice. If we go to checkout here, you're going to get a choice of a free brush from Beautycounter. And what I recommend is this one. So it's the retractable brush. So when you go to checkout, give it a second, it's going to load up. It's going to pop this right up. Select your free gift. So you get the retractable brush, which is awesome, or the flat complexion brush, which I actually haven't tried, but would be perfect, especially for any contouring. The flat complexion brush would be great for foundation or for your dew skin. The flat complexion brush would also be good to apply mask. So there's a lot of different ways that you could use that. But the retractable brush and the tint skin is like a combo to die for. So that's why I think this is like the best offer. So with the free gift, it's $229 in value. You're getting it for $145. So it's just an awesome, awesome opportunity. And then we always have our Band of Beauty awards. So our awards. Band of Beauty rewards. And that's just a member rewards program. You get 15% product credit on all of the products that you purchase. You also get free shipping over $100. So you get free shipping on your order. You're going to get 15% back off the $145. So it's about $22 in product credit that you get. So you could add an eyeshadow or a bronzer or something on into and like completely rehaul your makeup with this one order. As well as I am doing, I'm sorry, you also get a free product, which is the Nourishing Cream Cleanser. So you're going to get the Nourishing Cream Cleanser, the 15% product credit, which is about $22 on the order, the 6 products, the brush. And if you do the Flawless in 5 and you add the Band of Beauty, I am also going to gift you from my free stash. So I have lots of cool stuff. So it's going to be first come, first serve. So as soon as I see an order go through on my website of the Flawless in 5 plus the Band of Beauty, I will reach out to you and let you know what I have in my stash, and you'll get that free product on top of it. It's like a ton of product opportunities. So I had to end with sharing that with you. But you know what? Message me if you have any questions anytime. That's what I'm here for. I am your like personal beauty counter consultant. So color matching, I can come to you. We can talk. We can connect. I can share things. I can definitely put you on my list to let you know like the best deals and opportunities. And I always take care of my clients very, very well. I love getting these safer products in your hands and letting you try them and getting the best of the best. But I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to have a special guest on next week, so I'll be spotlighting her early next week. I hope you're enjoying this. Please share with me. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.